Good morning. I would like to call this meeting to order. And first thing is not on the agenda, but I want to welcome Brandon Ullman, our new board member. We want to introduce ourselves.
Sure, why not?
All right, I'll start with Nicole.
I'm Nicole. I kind of take care of the financials and the minutes and stuff for the DDA.
Brandon, you know me, so.
Ben Crowley, Edward Jones Investments, better looking of all of us.
Here we go.
Making sure we're all awake, right?
Deanna Marsh, Northern Spice Company, Alpine Chocolate House. We also run the Manistee and the Marina. Am I this secretary? There we go. There we go.
Should I introduce myself?
Yeah.
I see we're revoting on that, so I'm not really claiming that title yet.
Okay.
Brandon Ullman, I'm the accounting manager at Wyatt, and I moved here about 2 years ago, so.
And Brandon's filling our at-large position.
I'm Alex McLean. I'm the project coordinator at Spicer Group. And we're representing the Grant project.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Kyle. I'm the chairman, and I guess I'm the resident member now. My wife and I also have the outpost. Bill Gamble, city manager.
Dennis, president.
Thanks for coming.
I'm Sammy Lukaskevitz for Manistee County Tourism.
Lindsay Swiderski, TJ's, where I'm still in.
Jackie Gutowski, just here on special assignment for this one meeting.
Thanks for coming.
I'm Matt Schwach. I'm the construction project manager for Spicer Group. I will be on River Street.
Okay, thank you. That's the first time we've ever done that. Oh, wait, Jamil.
Hi guys, I'm late. Meanwhile, I'm with the Golden Stag.
Okay, thank you all for being here. I would ask for approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Motion from Ben.
Second.
Second from Sammy. Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Any public comment? Thanks for being here. There's another opportunity at the end of the meeting as well. Moving on, approval of minutes from our regular meeting from February.
I'll make a motion to approve the February minutes.
Motion from Deanna.
I'll second.
Second from Lindsay. Thank you. Any discussion or questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Moving on to the special meeting minutes.
Approve the special meeting minutes.
Motion from Ben.
Second.
Second from Bill. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried again. Thank you. Financials from February. Nicole?
So what went out in the unpaid bills was $85,739.51. Included in that is the Bluefish facade reimbursement. So that's part of the MEDC facade program. That also includes the Ramsdale and TJ's facade reimbursement for the MEDC program, which was closing out this month. We have the Richards McDougall monthly fee and the Manistee Area Chamber monthly fee.
Any questions for Nicole?
Just to add on to the MEDC grants, Connie on Friday got us all her necessary documents, all the invoices. Lindsay and TJ's will get reimbursed until we have all the necessary invoices. It was just a matter of making sure we approved it in this meeting. And so we didn't need to come back together for a special meeting at the end of the month because our contract with MEDC does say we have to disperse the rest of that grant funding by the end of this month. And then we have until the end of April to actually get all the project completion forms.
Thank you.
Yep.
I would entertain a motion for approval of the expenses and the financials.
Motion to approve expenses.
Motion from Sammy.
Second.
Jamil had it.
Second from Jamil. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Executive report, Andrew.
So first and foremost, Tyler Leffinen has resigned from the DDA board. He gave us notice last meeting. And so just wanted to make that a public announcement. And so Heather will be releasing that vacancy today to the paper, and we'll have 4 weeks of that being out in the paper. And so hopefully council will make a motion on that in April to fill that spot if we have any applications. And that is a interested position.
Which means,
Or interest position, meaning that they have some sort of financial interest in the DDA district or, some sort of financial,
property.
own property or a business in downtown. Otherwise, February is really busy with Match on Main. That is that MEDC grant that's been released. And so I've been working very closely with a lot of our business owners downtown, looking for projects to submit. That program come April, we will have to decide on 2 of those applications to fully submit to the state. But that has led me to be into a lot of the businesses, and I'm still continuing to meet with a lot of our businesses regarding the streetscape project, making sure that each and every business is met with one-on-one, everybody west of Maple Street along River. So anybody who's really impacted by the RAP grant project this summer, I'm looking to sit down with, and I've hit just about everybody at this point. Otherwise, help 2 businesses through relocation to the downtown. We've got 2 businesses that have been very interested. They're existing businesses, but are looking to relocate to River Street. One is from outside the city of Manistee. The other is just already located within the city of Manistee, but looking to relocate along River Street. And so that's very exciting. From a development standpoint, was able to connect a Lansing-based developer to the Derry Jones building. That's the GOP building. And so they are starting preliminary just design work over there. Very, very early stages, but hopefully that has some legs to it. And then still in constant communication with the Music Vault owner. They have submitted preliminary design to the city and are working through some kinks, and then also the PNC building. And so some very exciting development projects in downtown, and just trying to stay on it and make sure that they're keeping the ball rolling and making sure that they feel supported by the city.
Can you elaborate on the PNC building? Like, do they have a estimated completion time?
So I
or-
can't talk too much about that, just where they're at right now with that project. So I can't speak as to when the completion date would be for that project.
But it is moving forward.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
thanks, Andrew. Any questions? Appreciate it.
Yep.
Busy. Subcommittee reports, facade grant.
So as Nicole mentioned, this isn't necessarily, we don't need a motion or anything for the Bluefish or TJ's. This is more so just to bring that to your attention that both of those projects will be reimbursed by the end of this month. The Bluefish is getting paid out just over $31,000. Then TJ's, it's $47,000 for the work they're doing on their facades. But it's been great to be able to actually use all those funds. And those are the last 2 projects we have. Everybody else is paid out, has project completion forms finished. And so we'll be able to finish this out in April and shouldn't hit any snags.
Great. And then for the new application.
Yep, so we did receive 2 new applications in February. The first one is 350 River Street, that's Don Tequila. They are submitting a facade application for, they originally submitted it for $26,000. We only give $15,000 in our normal facade program. This is for masonry work up at the top of the building. Some of those bricks that popped off this winter, they're looking to fix that. And they're also looking to restore that storefront. Some of the glass there in wood underneath the glass is rotted out. And so they're replacing the glass pane with an existing, I guess, window footprint that's already there, and then replacing some of the wood underneath and doing a new paint for the front. And they're looking to do new paint as to whatever the Historic District Commission recommends. And so that was a good project, we thought, and we know a lot of buildings have had some masonry issues. And so the committee does recommend awarding the full $15,000 for that project. We think it's a high visibility project, historical nature, and kind of an unforeseen incident just due to the winter weather that, a lot of our building owners can't really prevent that, even with regular maintenance with the water getting behind the brick.
So the subcommittee has made a recommendation to approve the 15,000, and we have another application, but let's vote on this one.
Make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Bill.
I'll second.
Was that Lindsay? Sorry, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. And then the second one, Andrew.
So the second one is 142 Washington. That is River Planners Financials, down by kind of the Northern Hotel project right across the street. They asked for the full 15,000, but unfortunately within their application, there were a lot of ineligible elements within that application that were more so additions and not really the facade itself. They were looking for a sign, but it was a monument sign, so it was detached from the building. Their new roof as well, and the program doesn't cover roofs. But we looked at that and saw the project as, you know, it is going to be help the appeal of the building, but a lot of it seems just like a necessary remodel. And the building's not really in dire condition or blighted. And so we decided that it would be best to probably prioritize other projects that kind of need a little more help and might be for buildings that are in a greater state of disrepair rather than just a necessary remodel. And so the board does kind of recommend not awarding this application. I'd still recommend doing a motion not award that.
Is there movement from the board?
Need a motion to not recommend this?
Yeah.
Or you can recommend it.
I'm gonna follow the subcommittee, so I'll make a motion to not recommend the approval of the facade grant for 142 Washington Street.
Motion from Ben,
I'll second.
second from Deanna. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Streetscape.
So we are really moving quick on the wrap. It's all coming together now with the help of Spicer. I mean, we're kind of right there where all the pieces have to fall into place now to keep the construction timeline where we want it to be. And so at the last city council meeting at the beginning of March, city council made a motion to sign the construction contracts and increase their budget amount. They originally were just going to give 200,000. That's since increased to 303,000. Which is a great addition. We've also secured a grant from the Community Foundation with conditions that we make sure that the project's executed with the design that we're proposing, as well as all the funding elements that have been proposed come together. Part of that funding is we increase our amount 114,000. That's kind of what was necessary when we did all the value engineering. We still had a $400,000 gap. Luckily, me and Nicole were able to have a very lean budget for next year, which generated $150,000 surplus. And so in working with Ed Bradford and Bill, we were able to kind of figure out a way to be able to say, you know, once these gains are realized next year, we'll be able to actually supply the city with that increase. And so we would take our match from $495,000 up to $609,000 for that project. But that causes us to not have to bond out, to not have to cut any project elements out. And so the city, for the Community Foundation's sake, you would like to have a resolution given to them that pretty much states, you know, the board agrees to that increase. It is listed in the budget that you received today. That's one of the changes, is that increase as a line item with 114,000, and that leaves us still with the $7,000 surplus, given some of the other budget changes that we've had since the last meeting.
Everybody understand what the ask is?
So, yeah, if I could just add, I think there was a lot of things that had to come together. Spicer did a good job kind of paring it down too, and appreciate the Community Foundation. They kind of saw that the accessibility to the Riverwalk would be improved with this. So there's some elements that they felt with the design that they could help fund. So with that 250,000 with the city contributing with the survey originally, now at 315,000. We have over $1 million of grant funding going into this. So this is kind of the final piece, and actually the signing of the construction contract is contingent on the DDA allocating this additional fund. So this is kind of the final piece of a lot of pieces. And appreciate everyone's, and Andrew, your work on this and Spicer. So yeah, it's kind of all coming together, and we're fortunate we had some good bids too, where it was competitive at that time.
Yeah, big project, phase one, exciting. So Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Bill. Motion from Bill.
I'll second.
Second from
And
Beth.
Jamil.
Oh, Jamil got a second.
Let's look at it.
Like that. I like that. That's good.
Thank you, guys. Any discussion, any questions, clarification? Hearing none,
We've been talking about it for a while, so yeah.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you all. And thank you to the city and the community foundation as well. Spicer Group.
So Spicer provided us with a owner's work directive change. Part of this is outlining that they're able to proceed with engineering work that's necessary for the completion of the project, such as construction inspection, material testing, construction staking, and so some necessary expenses. However, there is language in there in the first paragraph the streetscape subcommittee wanted more time with. And so subcommittee, as of right now, wanted to approve the portion of the construction services that are necessary to move forward and allow Spicer to proceed with all pretty much agreeing that we're good to cover these engineering costs that need to happen. But the language in the first paragraph reflects that of pretty much getting reimbursed for work that they haven't been paid for if we come in under budget. And the streetscape committee just wanted more time with that to talk internally and just review past invoices and the amount of work that Spicer's already done. And then return to that section most likely at the next meeting. And so if we do make a motion on this, which I would recommend, pretty much making it so that we exclude that first paragraph from what we want from this motion and leave it to just construction services. We do have two members of Spicer here. If the board has any questions that they may be able to help answer.
Anybody have any questions for Spicer?
Maybe just if you guys can go over what this is exactly and.
Yeah, the work directive too, I believe.
Because I had computer issues yesterday.
You want my copy? Yeah, do you have a copy?
Thanks.
So, I guess what part do you want me to?
The first
Explain.
paragraph specifically, I think, right?
Or, I mean, just overall, especially the construction
Sure.
services, which, yeah, I mean, if you want to just go over the entire
Oh,
document,
yeah,
kind of just
okay,
explain
so
the
it-
intention of it, especially the construction services that we need to approve.
So this being such a high impact project, it is full-time inspection. It's not like what you're used to where it's a drop in here and there kind of inspection. I think we budgeted person to be on site for 50 hours a week. To start off, that'll be me to get the project going, get the questions answered. The first few weeks can be very difficult on a project. And so that'll be me. And then eventually I'll probably hand it off to a different person at a lower rate, which will save money, hopefully. Material testing, these can go up and down depending. Sometimes contractors can play games, let's just say that, but these are not out to lunch. I think when I ran this, what are we at? We're less than 10% of contract, which is actually lower than normal, so.
I think that overall is we just want to make sure that the inspection, there's somebody on site making sure that we're going to spec and
Well, that's-
according to plans.
The underground stuff especially, because once it's buried, it's gone.
Make sure the quantities are right, but I think in the budget, we had 100,000 for inspection, and so now we're talking 110. So what changed with that?
The increase in the scope of the project, I believe, and forgive me, I've only been with Spicer for 2 months now, so there's a lot of backstory to this, as everyone knows. But I believe the scope of the project changed a little bit with the brick paver section to be increased, I believe. We're using a whole half a block there. So I believe that's the increase in the budget increase, which added time to the contract for the length of the construction.
And to your point, potentially if we can use one of our other construction managers, it would be a lower hourly rate,
Yes.
so we can potentially save money.
Very much so. But with me being there, you're gonna be able to double dip on my time because I'll do the management while I'm doing the inspection. So that potentially will cut costs as well.
And Andrew, have you reviewed this with Jeff at all? Jeff McCullough? I'm just curious.
No, I've not reviewed this specifically with Jeff McCullough, just within the council meeting in which we had discussed similar line items and largely discussed it with Kyle.
Do we need action today on this?
I would make a motion to approve construction services that are outlined in the contract. And I would pretty much put it that way, just the construction services outlined in the contract, especially if the subcommittee feels that they want to have more time with that first portion for reimbursement.
Okay. Thanks for the clarity.
Motion to approve the construction services outlined in the service agreement. With what we doing, adding time back to the subcommittee?
Well, we were recommending not approving the first paragraph yet.
Okay. Where are we at with this then?
So I would just say kind of that first part of the motion, I don't think there's a second necessary, just approval of
Just
the
approval
construction.
of construction services agreement.
Everybody understand the motion?
More time?
Yeah.
Go one more time.
Nicole, you want to repeat the motion?
Motion by Ben, second to be determined to approve construction services outlined in the contract.
It's a nice.
Good.
Who's their second?
I'll second that.
Second from Sammy. Any further discussion, questions? Thank you, Spicer Group. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. All right, moving on to events.
So nothing new on events, so you can jump right into old business.
Old business, 26, 27 budget.
I'll give Nicole a chance to talk here if I might miss anything, but so from the last meeting, what's changed is we put in the full amount that's left in this year's facade budget into next year's budget, just in case we get more facade applications. And so that's one of the increases we saw we pretty much had that at what we needed to pay out, which was only like 6,000 that we had a contract to actually pay out for next year. And so now it's just the full 39,000 that's left over in the budget. And so that increased, and then also the creation of the line item of the 26, 27 streetscape commitment in that $114,000 amount that was just agreed upon. That was also added to the budget. Bottom line, we still have a net operating income of $4,460 and 50 cents. And so we're still up over next year, which we're happy about. And it would have been great to still have that, 120 something surplus that we had originally. But obviously, a part of the streetscape project is getting creative with our funding sources and making sure that we don't have to bond out, because we all know that we're going to have to still do a phase 2 and potentially phase 3 of the streetscape, and those are going to cost much more than this project. So being able to kind of save our bonding capacity for those second and third leg of the project is really important. And so happy that we still have a surplus. I guess, are there any questions? Those are the two main ads. Nicole, did I miss anything that may have been changed since the last meeting?
Yeah, last meeting, we hadn't had the numbers from Ed yet for the TIF revenue. So those came in, so I adjusted those numbers. I wasn't off by much based on his projections. And then in talking with Phil, the city service went down a tiny bit. I used 3% increase. It actually comes out to be 2.7% increase. Okay. And then Ben had asked a question about the office operating, if 5,000 needs to go up. I've done the calculations and we should be good at 5,000 for this year and next year.
Great, thank you, Nicole.
We have also attached all the annual contracts that we have. I know we had talked briefly about West Shore contract and potentially seeing change there. They have language in there that if modifications made, it has to be obviously in writing and agreed upon with both parties. And so if the board was interested in seeing if there's any way to either slightly decrease or do a pause, that would have to be a negotiation with West Shore agreed upon in writing to make that happen.
Okay. So we do need to approve the proposed budget.
And this is just to get to city council, by the way. Once city council approves it, it comes back to us for a final approval in May. Or depending on how quickly city council acts on it.
And if we made any changes, it would have to go back to council.
Correct. Yeah. And it's mostly changes to the bottom line.
Okay.
And so we can change items, but if anything changes that kind of bottom line, then we have to send it back.
And Andrew, I apologize if I'm missing it.
No.
Looking in here, where might we find a copy of the West Shore contract? I feel like we all need to review that to kind of better discuss.
Yep, it is.
It was in the packet.
Was it in the packet?
Yeah, it's page.
I looked it over and I thought, but I'm just not finding it this morning, so, okay.
It was in the packet, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Might help if I print it out instead of trying to look for it.
So it is the last contract. It's page 62 of the packet.
Okay.
There's where it starts. It's very unassuming. It just says lease agreement. So it doesn't have any West Shore logo or DDA logo on it.
Basically, we got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And we can review that at any time, any meeting.
Okay.
Anything else? Any other questions? I would entertain a motion.
Motion
What's the motion?
to accept the 26-27 budget,
Thank
or
you.
to approve it, sorry.
Thank you, Sammy. Second from Ben. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. All right. Vice President appointment, redoing of motion. What is this about?
We never actually had a second. From the motion that Deanna made last meeting.
Maybe that's
And then
a
I was
sign.
also supposed to do a roll call vote, which also didn't happen.
So this is your fault?
No, no, it's me and Bill's fault for having some city management experience and not knowing our roll call, so that's on me.
Do we need an appointment,
So we need an appointment or a motion to nominate Ben Crowley. A motion in a second. That's where we lagged for the first time. And then I will do a roll call vote.
Okay.
And then we will be good.
I make a motion to appoint Ben Crowley as vice president of the DDA board.
president?
Vice president, I think I said vice president.
Vice chair.
I said vice.
I guess that makes me president. So we have a motion from Deanna. Thank
Oh,
you.
did I say president? I'm sorry.
It does say president.
It does say president. Sounds very presidential.
Second from Bill. Any discussion? Go ahead, Nicole.
Lindsay,
Yes, yes.
Sammy,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Brandon,
Yes.
Deanna.
Yes.
I think I can ask Ben, so.
Okay.
And Janelle.
Yes.
Motion approved. Thank you. Thank you, Ben.
You're welcome. My term's up in June, right?
Big step for you.
Term's up in June?
Yeah.
Do you want to do your reintroduction then?
Moving on to new business, item 10A, 471 Water Street, Oprah District.
So I've been working with a business that's looking to get off the ground here in downtown. We have business owner Jackie Butowski with us today. And Jackie's been working pretty much over the last year, if not more, behind the scenes, trying to really pull everything together to start a new health and wellness facility in Manistee. She has purchased the building at 471 Water Street. That is the red building next to Richards and McDougal. To my understanding, it used to be the old carpet shop, and then it was a Salvation Army, many iterations in Manistee. And that building's been vacant for pretty much over the last decade and only used for personal storage. There's been quite a bit of damage in it. Building inspector and the assessor and I walked that building back in August and deemed it obsolete. And so right now, Jackie's seeking an Oprah. And so that is a tax abatement of up to 12 years. But given the fact that it's in the DDA district, City Council would like the DDA's recommendation on that incentive simply because it would impact our long-term revenue. We are still going to be collecting all the current taxes we collect on that property as it stands. It's just once that redevelopment happens, then we won't capture any of the increase for that. And so the last one we've done was for Condos in the district. And that one is still active as of today. In working with Jackie, it's going to be a big investment into the property. It's over $300,000 worth of investment into that space, into a building that's been vacant, and really providing a service that the greater Manistee area really needs, because currently we have 2 fitness centers, one at Munson and one out in Filer. But I know a lot of people with Munson, the hours don't work for them. And then that kind of leaves Filer in the 24/7 fitness they have out there as a choice. And so that kind of holds all the market. And so it can get very, very busy in there. And I think this is a well-needed product in Manistee. But what I'd be looking for is a board recommendation to, I guess, recommend the approval of the Oprah. There already has I take that back. Sorry, it wasn't one of the 3 properties we got established. It still needs a district creation as well as a certificate applied to it. And I would recommend the full 12 years on that property simply because of the commitment of the business owner and the amount of private investment they're bringing to the table on that property, especially given what the property was purchased for. That, I mean, it's well exceeding the actual value of the property that's going into it, which is really, really exciting for downtown.
Yeah. So we would be making a recommendation to council.
Correct, because they have final approval, or they're the ones who actually create the district and then accept the application.
So that's at Spruce and Water, right? Is that the boundary of the DDA at that right there?
So yeah, Richards and McDougal,
Yeah.
that corner is at the very tail end of the district.
Oh, it's exciting. Is there any movement on this?
We ask a question about this right now? Yep. Any idea ballpark, the lost revenue for us?
So right now, the total taxes captured are 4,810. We capture a little less because it starts from when the district was created. And so the city's probably only capturing about 500 to 1,000. So we're capturing $3,000 from the property.
Okay.
The amount of investment going into it would increase the property tax to about 3,000 or 4,000. And so it would be about a loss of 3,000 or 4,000, given the investment size.
That's easy. That's easy.
Yeah, and it sounds like a little bit in compared to certain projects. It isn't, a multi-million-dollar project where it's going to be a $100,000 loss. It's something that's small in certain people's head. Oh, well, it's not going to make a difference. But because it's a small business operating in it and it's not a real estate developer, the savings of even just $1,000 a month goes a very long way, especially in the first 3 years of just getting off the ground, bolstering that membership base. That really goes a long way when you look at a business's pro forma. Because again, it's not a real estate developer from downstate who has quite a bit of financial backing, and they're looking at all the different revenue streams they can pull and squeeze out of a property like residential and commercial space. It's somebody who's actually looking to start a business, and so.
No, I think that's a great idea. I think it's going to be a great addition down there.
Yeah.
But Andrew,
No, go ahead.
you mentioned that for Condos was the last one that we had appointed the Oprah for. So where are we at for Condos? How many years was theirs?
Sure, they had the full amount, so they were awarded 12 years, and so that was started back in 22. Before my time here, so I think it was Bill. Was it 22?
Around that time.
Yeah, we was 22, and so we're about
4 years.
4 years
that.
into it right now.
And do we have any other business that were afforded the Oprah, like before I came on the board, like a long time ago? I'm just saying yearly, annually.
Yeah, not to my knowledge, simply because most business owners aren't the property owners, at least that we've seen in downtown. And so to get the Oprah, the ones that we see come forth are the ones who own the property as well as business. And I know the city, they didn't really leverage a ton of tax incentives before, like it was only in the last decade that the city's really started to use certain tools that the state has afforded them to use. And so Bill, I don't know if you have a better idea of like the history of Oprah within the city.
Yeah, and I think Fracano's is probably the most well-known here, but yeah, on 8th Street, we had one, we had quite a few that have been successful.
Yeah.
Good question for you, though. Business fails, is the Oprah still in place for 12 years? Or if they sell the business, is it in place for 12 years still?
So the district would still be there, but then you'd need a new application for the certificate, so.
Yeah, the city could terminate the Oprahs pretty much, even if the business didn't fail. If there are other issues, they can decide to terminate it.
Okay.
We had that issue on Sibin, but yeah, so this one, I think this is the first step is the DDA recommending it, and then we still need to, I think, probably talk about term of it. I know you filled out that score sheet, so that's one step, but yeah, it is ultimately the DDA's capture that we're talking about here, but at some point when it's built, then you'll get that capture back after the end of the Oprah, so.
Yeah, one example, Ben, too, would be the Music Vault, the last project that tried to go there. They established a district and were awarded a Oprah on that property. And then when the project kind of fell apart, the city had to pretty much do the
Reverse.
yeah, like the voiding process for that.
So there is currently not an Oprah on that property.
Yeah, correct. There's not a certificate, there's a district.
Yes, so within the district, then we're just looking at Fracano's, and then if we approve this one.
Mhm.
I know that they're little, like the
Yeah,
$3,000 over the 12 years
Yeah.
is little, but many of them makes a lot.
Yeah.
So just, that's why we
Yeah.
asked. Yeah, that's why I asked.
Thanks for the explanation. Good questions. How do we want to move on this?
Need a motion.
Just a recommendation to council to award the creation of the Oprah district as well as the certificate.
Why does it have to be so wordy?
I know, I'm sorry. You could always say just the recommendation of.
Say
No.
that.
Yeah.
The Oprah.
All right, make a motion to recommend.
Recommend the creation
Creation,
of
You
the
getting this?
Oprah district
Oprah District,
and approval of the certificate.
approval of the certificate. There you go. You got it on record.
A lot of hand holding going on.
See if I got this. I will make a second on the recommendation of
Yeah,
the
try that.
approval of the certificate for the Oprah building at 471 Water.
Getting good.
There you go. Sorry, man, I'll help you out next time.
Are you happy with
Put it
that,
right
Nicole?
Yeah, I'll have a little more.
Okay.
Well, they weren't doing nothing.
There's a
over there.
motion and a second. Any discussion?
Good luck to
Jackie,
you.
thanks for being here.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
good luck to you.
Yes. Thank you. It's a
All in
great
favor?
project.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Exciting project.
It is exciting.
Redevelopment ready liquor license for 343 and 345 River Street.
Yeah, we're throwing all kind of curveballs at the board today.
Just like to my half-hour meeting.
Right, I know, sorry about that, Kyle. So we did get a request from the properties of Trophies and Millennial Decor for a redevelopment liquor license. The redevelopment liquor license, I attached a one pager in the packet from the Michigan Municipal League that breaks down what a redevelopment liquor license is. It is a kind of economic development tool to allow people who've had large investments into DDA districts to be awarded liquor license that either aren't available on the market or that are just at a more affordable rate. And so the qualifications for a redevelopment liquor license is to invest $75,000 into the property in question. The district has to have over $200,000 in public or private investment over the course of 5 years, which our district has. The applicant has to also prove that they have gone to the market and have tried to acquire a license that's in escrow, and they also have to pay a $20,000 fee to the Michigan Liquor Control. This applicant has just sent a summary sheet, and so the board shouldn't have any motion on this today, simply because we haven't been provided some of those additional criteria that prove that. The last time the board did any action regarding redevelopment liquor license was the Outsider back in 2023. They were awarded a redevelopment liquor license, but they were able to provide all the necessary documentation prior to actually getting the board approval. And so we want to stay consistent with that. It's really the liquor control's responsibility to make sure that they have all the necessary documentation. But just as a public body, being consistent and making sure that we're not making motions for applicants that don't meet the criteria. And we may also want to have just a general discussion about, how the board feels about redevelopment liquor license, because they're a great tool, but I know they can be controversial at times because you do have restaurants, in the district who do go to the open market and have to pay quite a bit of money for liquor license. And so just getting the sense, especially like Lindsay, I'd love to hear your opinion or Dee, your opinion on, I guess, how the board should maybe view redevelopment liquor license, as it is a tool that the state gives us, to kind of help encourage entertainment and business growth in downtown. But I know it's also can at times seem somewhat unfair to people who've gone to the market and have paid certain amounts for their liquor license.
Can they still get approved even if there isn't an available liquor license in escrow?
And so that's kind of why they're created is, if the local quota has been reached and there's just none out there. And that's why they have to prove that they've done their due diligence and gone and asked people. And so, for example, the Outsider, they sent a letter to 8 different businesses across the county that had licenses in escrow, and got those letters notarized and the responses attached to those letters. And that's how they proved to the state that they did their due diligence in seeing if, and they just weren't able to get any of the ones in escrow. Yeah.
I think our recommendation goes to the city, right?
Correct.
And then the city
Yeah,
goes
correct.
to liquor control.
Yeah, and they just need local unit support for their application.
And a redevelopment liquor license is a tool just of DDA districts, correct?
Yeah, there's a one that's a RDA, which is a little different, but that's not of concern here. But they are typically non-transferable license as well. They are property specific. And so if that business were to close or leave, they can't take that license with them. It is stuck to the property. However, somebody can step into that business and take over the license, but it has to be upon the approval of the DDA and the city. And so it's not like you're adding a completely new untethered license to the market, because it is stuck to whatever that property is.
And it cannot be sold.
Yeah.
And it's specific to a property, not necessarily a business.
Yeah. Correct.
And it's the 20,000 is a fee and it's not recoupable.
Yeah, and so they're still, I think the argument that the state makes, especially as to like why it's fair, is because that $75,000 of investment going in could be viewed as them having to pay the full amount for a liquor license on the open market, on top of that $20,000 fee. Because for example, like the Outsider, their investment amount was well over that $75,000 mark, right? That was a pretty substantial redevelopment project. And so you can make that argument that, with that investment on top of the fee, it ends up being significantly more than going to the open market and buying a liquor license.
So is this theoretical question looking for 2 liquor licenses because there's 2 addresses that have proposed this, or?
So it'd only be one. It would only be one. It's just from a property standpoint, the tax ID is actually all one property.
Okay.
And so it also incorporates the doctor's office above. And so they would be able
So
to.
the doctor could be like
Yeah, he could
selling
be
a liquor
wheeling and dealing and then with
I promise you, they will make that B suite A, B, and C. So at the
Mhm.
Manistee and Marina, it's the whole property is 378.
Yeah,
The liquor control
Yeah.
came down and held ours up for like 3 or 4 months
Yeah.
because they said, oh, no, like, okay, so can it go through the back
Yeah.
door into the hallway? Can it go outside?
Yeah,
Can it go into Alpine Chocolate House? We had to establish suite 1, 2, and 3.
okay, that's good to know.
So the liquor control will.
Yeah.
But I just wanna, we use the word investment here,
Mhm.
like this is an investment. This property that we're talking about here is open from 6 to 2 on choosing days of being open. There's not a consistent open as the coffee shop downtown. Much of the time, they are not open on Sundays, so leaving no coffee spot downtown. They are not open from the end of December, so January, February, March. They have consistently annually been closed.
Can I just say something?
Yes. Yeah.
We're not, there's no action to be taken here. This is for informational purposes
Yep,
only.
I'm just kind of giving feedback as we move toward making a recommendation someday.
Well, we're not though. I just
We're not,
asked
okay.
Andrew to review redevelopment liquor licenses with the board, so we understood them, but nothing's being asked today. There's no application.
But
I'll
so
say, yeah.
yeah, but I appreciate that feedback, because this is something that obviously, yeah, with this summer, I've reached out to them and say, hey, let's sit down, have a conversation and collect your documents. Because I think they're missing a couple of those still. And so there will be a time though, where I think that pretty much everything you said will have to be taken into consideration at the board level.
Yeah.
For sure. And so I appreciate that feedback.
Say it one more time, that license is transferable or it's
Not-
dead as soon as?
So it's not necessarily dead, because technically we can approve another business stepping in
Okay.
to that spot.
Okay.
But it's unique because we have to approve it.
Okay.
Unlike just if it was an open market where, they could just do the sale, like they need us to be the ones to give the blessing of, okay, yes, you can take this license over and continue to operate.
It's very unique.
Yeah.
The state's not easy to work with.
So Andrea, the 75,000 in improvements to a property, is there a time frame on that? I mean,
I would need to double check. I think it's within the last, like 3 years or so. And so there is a requirement there. I know there is a time, like I would just need to double check that within the legislation. And that's the question mark I have with that property, because I haven't been here for, the last, I've only been here for 2 years now. And so I don't know what the level of investment was right when they had started. And so that's something where we need to collect invoices, see the proof of, what work has been done internally in that building. And really make sure that they're hitting those thresholds before we make a recommendation to council.
So in the packet, there's documentation for redevelopment liquor licenses. I would encourage everybody to review it, and feel free to ask questions to Andrew, or email or call or whatever. So any more on this discussion?
Is there some other criteria? They have to have so many seats, there's some other things as well.
Yeah, there's
but-
some other nitty gritty stuff where it has to be like more than 25 people capacity.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna move on to item C, spring flowers.
We received a quote from Weezy's for the spring flowers, the planters and the boxes. That quote was $5,653.55. For reference, last year we paid $5,444.50. This year they will just be doing petunias, and then with a mix of red, white, and blue.
And that's in our budget. Okay, any action needed here?
A motion to approve the quote.
Okay,
Make a motion to approve.
thank you, Bill.
No, I did the work for it. I'll second it, Bill. I'll second that one.
There's a motion and a second and no arguments. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Sorry, anybody opposed? I went kind of fast there. No. Motion carried. I was excited for public comment. Any public comment? Thank you all for, yeah,
Oh,
please.
sorry.
Yeah, no, go
I'm
ahead.
like, I don't know if there's anybody else.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, Jackie Gutowski. So I know it wasn't totally necessary for me to come today, but I just wanted to show up and meet anybody that I have not met yet. Andrew gave a pretty good recap of kind of what we've been working on. The project has been in the thought for, gosh, probably at least 3 years. I've been kind of doing my own thing, kind of a one-on-one training gym stuff. At my home, have some really great clients that come and see me. I'm from Manistee. I've been here the majority of my life. Planning on being here probably forever, since some of you know my husband is also the sheriff here in Manistee, so I can't move even if I wanted to. We have to live here in the county. So we're really excited. I'm really excited to bring this business downtown. it's going to be, you know, a little bit more than I'm kind of envisioning a little bit more of a grander project as far as, you know, it will be a gym and a wellness center, but also I really want it to have like a community feel. I want there to be, you know, events. I want there to be partnerships. I really want it to be a place that draws people downtown. Yeah, so just really excited about it and moving forward and hopefully getting it started. If we can get the weather to cooperate a little better. So if anyone has any power over that.
Can I ask like what stage you're at with the project from a construction standpoint or?
Yeah, right. So it needs a new roof. That needs to go in first. There's some work that ServPro has to also do just because it's sat vacant for 10 years and had a roof leak. So once we can get that completed, looking hopefully, you know, once everything approvals and everything go through, hopefully starting next month.
Great.
And we'll be working all in the summer.
Cool. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other public comment? Okay, moving on to board member comment. Anything, Jamil?
We're good today.
All right. Nicole?
Manistee County Restaurant Week is coming up March 15th through 21.
Nice plug.
We have a lot of downtown businesses participating.
Awesome.
TJ's Pub, Golden Stag.
So what does Restaurant Week look like? What does that mean?
So each restaurant has either maybe a deal or a special that they're offering for the week. Lindsay's offering $12 lunches and $30 dinners for two. Jamila is offering buy one, get one on appetizers. And then some other ones maybe are doing like a prefix menu for $35, $40. So all of that's available on the chamber website.
Is this a chamber organized event?
It is.
Cool. Thank you. Andrew, anything?
Just match on Main. You know of anybody looking to do a project? Pretty much covers anything you can think about, but $25,000 reimbursement. Announcements will be made in July. We need to have applications in by April.
Physical improvements, not assets, correct? Like not equipment purchases.
Oh, no, equipment, like
Okay,
it covers,
gotcha.
it
Okay.
covers equipment purchases, interior renos. They're
Okay.
limited on exterior renos, but technology upgrades, whole lot, so.
All right. Ben? Oh, good today. All right, Deanna?
I have a couple things really quick. I love that Restaurant Week's coming up, so don't just know that this is not like a personal, I love that it's coming up. However, when I get overwhelming comments from other business owners or people downtown, I feel like I just need to mention it. So at one time, the DDA and Chamber took a very big stance of we are not doing events. We are not doing events. We just said this is a chamber ran event. So I think as the DDA, as the board, we kind of have to look at that and say, is the chamber doing events? Is the chamber not doing events? As we're looking for possible event coordinators, we have an event subcommittee to do what with events. So I think we really have to hardcore define that. Is the chamber doing events? Is the chamber not doing events? Where's the stance? It doesn't need discussion today. I feel like in the future, we should probably have that discussion. Second of all, a few years ago in the springtime, we did a Park Nice, Play Nice letter. It was endorsed by Chief Glass. I think we need to revisit that letter. It's been a couple years since we've sent it out. I had a business owner park in front of our business the other day, and I said, are you going to be there all day? Because that's kind of the pattern that's happening. And they said, yes, I'm going to be here all day. And I said, but it's 60 degrees out today and your truck is taking up this parking spot right in front of Alpine Chocolate House. And so I'm just asking you that you observe the 2-hour parking. That's what I said. Well, I usually park in handicap all day. Well, we even have less handicap spots to offer our guests downtown. So I guess I would just, oh, I'm sorry, 2 years ago, it did say from the DDA and Chief Glass. So I'm just, I want that letter to go back out, and I guess I just want the board's blessing for that to go out again this year.
Have a reminder. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I also problem with that.
That's all I have.
Okay. Anything, Brandon?
No,
Welcome, thank you.
happy to be here.
You're not on the board, you want to say anything else?
Thank you for having me.
Bill?
Nothing at this time.
Okay. Sammy?
The International Fly Fishing Film Festival at the Ramsdale Theater brought in about 200 people to watch 11 films or short films about fly fishing around the world. And we raised about $4,000 for the Ramsdale. And there were about 30 people at a fly tying seminar at Third Life on Saturday. And I think they all went to TJ's afterward. Some of them stayed at your hotel, but we had people as far away as Petoskey who came down to spend the night, and Kalamazoo came up on what might have otherwise kept them from coming here. So that was successful. And I'm super excited about the streetscape project. In looking at some data, downtown Manistee is the #1 destination in all of Manistee County for 2025. So this investment is an investment in tourism and economic development, and people notice our downtown. So thank you for all of that. And thanks to Nicole for all the work on the budget. She does a really nice job.
I just wanted to say thank you to the board for their support and to the city for the support on our facade grant for our building. We take a lot of pride in that building. We know it's a gem of the downtown, so I really appreciate the support and the grant for that. So thank you.
Thanks for having a couple businesses in there.
Yeah.
I just want to again thank the foundation and the city, Spicer, everybody in the streetscape subcommittee. A lot of work gone into it. It's not over yet. We're just starting. So that's all. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second. Okay.